Hello again everyone, and welcome back again for another video. So I was going to initially do another computer PC build, but this actually came up that I had to kind of prioritize over that. So I thought, you know what, let's talk about this one a little bit. What this is the Acer Aspire 5. What's the model on it here? Let's get up close. You can see it is, maybe you can see, it is the A515-43-R19L. Okay, it went for $509 on Newegg. I don't have that on the screen. What I'm doing. $509 was the price on it. Specs on it aren't too bad. It's got, you know, a Ryzen 3 3200U in it and 16 gigs of RAM. The only thing I didn't like about it is the SSD size in it. The SSD size in this is 128 gigs, and you'll see that in a lot of these laptops that advertise having SSDs in them, that, you know, the capacity on them is usually 128 gigs, which is an okay capacity for most people. But if you have a lot of pictures that you like to store, or movies you like to store, or even games that you want to store that you play, yeah, you really want to bump up the capacity on that. And so that's kind of what we're going to do with this with this laptop right here. It's still sealed up, as you can see. This one is actually for my daughter's friend Aiva, who lives in Michigan, I think it is. You might remember Aiva from that video when I worked on that piece of shit laptop of hers. That's pretty useless. I put, you know, of course, Linux on it, did dual boot on that one, did try to memory upgrade. Anyways, I ain't going to recap that, but you can go check that one out if you want. Anyways, so Aiva finally got sick of that damn thing and decided to invest in a different one. She asked me if I would, you know, pick it up for her and then fix it the way I think that she would like it. So that's actually what I did here, starting with the laptop. Good price, $509, not too bad considering the specs that are in it. And then I got her a NVMe M.2 1 terabyte drive that we're going to be putting in here. And that's what we're going to do today is I'm going to take this out of the box, show you the back here, figure out how to get this torn apart, because actually I don't know. I've never done it. And we'll hopefully replace M.2. But before we do that, we have to take a couple crucial steps. And we'll look at it to that first. Okay, I attached my KVM switch to this laptop, and I have the HDMI plugged in, but we'll get to that in a bit. First thing we want to do here, before we put the new drive in this new laptop, is actually we want to actually give Windows a first run. And the reason we're going to do that is to make sure that it gets activated. Okay, a key has been put into this system. In the BIOS, more than likely, it's where it's going to be locked into. But sometimes what the manufacturers will do is they'll inject the key into the operating system so that when you do your initial boot and then you're connected to the internet, then you're activated that way. This just kind of avoids any problems, like say if I pull the drive out from the start and I put the fresh one in and then it's asking for a key and I say, oh, okay, I don't have one, like most people go through, and then they find out it's not activated and then they have to call up the manufacturer and get a damn key. So we're just going to avoid that situation right now just by doing a initial boot up with this thing and initial setup into Windows 10. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and hopefully that don't take too long on this laptop, and I guess you'll see for yourself how long it takes. I'm going to kind of run through it here. Now you notice I clicked I don't have internet. Now the reason you do that is so you don't get pressured into signing up with a Microsoft account. I'm going to continue with limited setup here. We're going to accept that. I know, I'm just clicking through this. We're just going to name this Acer real fast because, like I said, all we're doing is just the initial setup and then making sure that we are connected or activated. Let me finally get my... Hold on here before we continue. Now that it's already asked me for the username, and I put the username of Acer in there, I'm going to go ahead and plug in. Let me lift this up a little bit. If I can get it in there.
These are the settings Microsoft recommends. Go ahead and review them.
There we go. There we go. I'm going to plug in my network. Let's see. Choose your settings. I'm going to uncheck everything. except for location. Click accept.
Hey, look.
Not now.
Your device manufacturer would
Next.
to send you updates and such.
Nope. Next. So I always skip that shit because I'm going to wipe it out anyways. You don't need all that crap.
More things polished up for you, and Windows will be all yours.
This is going pretty quick though. I mean, for the time it's taken me to do this. I mean, if you don't count the time I stalled plugging in the network there, this is going actually pretty quick. Now, we're not even going to do anything like Windows updates yet, drivers, or nothing like that. All we're doing is just doing the initial startup onto Windows 10 just to make sure it's activated, and then we're going to move on to the SSD. If this would hurry up. Oh boy, just think if we were doing this on a hard drive. That's actually what I went through when I did that initial setup on that HP laptop that I did the hard drive swap on into a SSD. This initial startup on that thing, oh my god, that just took forever. I didn't record that because I thought that would be dumb, because then I'd have to like maybe do a time lapse or something. Almost there. Okay. All right, it's done. And now, again, all we're doing is we're checking to make sure. Listen, let's get rid of this crap. Close it all up. Okay, and we can tell if it's activated or not by just going to the personalize section. And first of all, we'll choose a theme. We'll just go with the Windows theme under colors. If we're able to adjust this using the accent and start taskbar and action center, and then tile bars and window border colors by checking those boxes, then we know we're activated. I mean, so I don't need to check anything else. Anyway, so there's a typical Windows screen. Now we're done. Now we know we're activated, and we're going to wipe everything out anyways. Now, if we want, before you continue, you can go to like the Acer's website, see if maybe there's a current BIOS to put in there. Do that from the start. We're not going to worry about any of the junk that's actually been installed on this laptop. If we look, let's see here. We can actually go into Windows System, Control Panel, large icons. Let's see. Programs and features. First of all, we'll look. It's just the OneDrive and that. Everything else is just links and stuff we need to uninstall in our apps. System, let's make sure we're not in S mode here. Windows is activated. Let's see if it tells us. No, we got to go to the other system thing. Settings, system, about. Let's see, system info. Help. Yeah, Windows 10 Home in S mode. Haha, that sucks. So we know that this thing comes in S mode, and I cannot stand S mode, so we'll have to take it out of S mode. But we're going to wipe it anyways. We're going to just install Windows 10 Home is what I'm going to do. Of course, the non-S mode. And we're going to see if when it starts up, now we know this is activated. We're going to see if when it starts up, it's going to be out of S mode with the new operating system installed on there. So let's cut this video, and I'll cut my babbling, and let's cut this open. Okay, taking this apart was actually really, really simple. It was only, what, 4 here, 3 here, at 7, 8, 9, 10 screws is all it was. And then I got out the pry tools here. And started out by, if you guys have never used a pry tool, you use something like this just to kind of get under there to stick it in there, and then kind of move back and forth, and then you could prop that one open, and then use this to kind of twist and stuff that under there, and then you take your other one and pop over there, but I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, so here it is opened up, and now we can see what we got inside here. All right, where is our M.2? There it is, right there. All right, let me grab one from the shelf here. Here we go. Today we're using a Team Group M.2. So this is a pretty simple job, really. It's just a matter of just unscrewing this screw here. And there we go, we'll leave it there. I have no fingernails. My tweezers. All right, wiggle that out there. Get my scissors out here. Cut this thing open. That off the side there. All right, set that back in there. Just like that. Oops. There we go. And we'll get out my screwdriver. What did I do with it? Here it is. See, the thing about me is I'm getting older, and I don't know if you can notice or not, but I kind of have kind of shaky hands when I do this. Can't help it, you know. Turned 50 here, actually, in a couple weeks. And sometimes I feel older than that. Anyway, so while we got this popped open, let's have a look at what else is in here. Look at this. Over here, if we want, we can put another drive. They give you the cage for it. They give you the SATA connector for it. So yeah, you can upgrade this very easily. So you know what? Do I have a drive? I wonder if I have a drive. I could just give her. I mean, I get like all these fucking SATA drives all the time from like other laptops that I upgrade. I'll pull them out, and I don't put them like, you know, as boot drives, but they make great secondary drives. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cut this scene here. I'm gonna look for that drive, and I'll let her have one of my extra 2.5-inch drives. We'll stick this in here and we'll give her an upgrade while we got this thing popped open. That way, Ava, you're going to get a lot of storage on this thing, kiddo. So let's cut this scene. I'll come right back. Okay, something that I wanted you guys to take note of before I do this hard drive install. There's this little plastic bracket that comes with it. First of all, you want to make sure you check your orientation. It's only going to go in one way. Next thing is this right here. Now, if you remember in the last scene, this was actually found up here, taped down. What this is part of the SATA connector right there, and it also comes with this little ribbon that you're going to have to put together onto the board, and it goes right here in this corner. Now, let me do something here real fast so I could show you this. We can get this on camera. You're going to notice on this ribbon here, see where it says HDD, and then right here it says MB for motherboard. I don't know if you can see that or not. I don't know if that's going to focus. Anyways, make sure you get that right when you're doing this. Make sure that this at the end that says MB goes to the motherboard, and this one goes to the SATA thing right here. But that's all there is to that. Otherwise, it's just normal screwing the hard drive down into the cage. Now, if you look in your box with the laptop, you should have this in there, which is a bag there of 4 screws. What these screws are for is so that you can add this new drive to it. Otherwise, you can, find some other screws to replace it if you accidentally lost this. But that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take these 4 screws out that came with the laptop. I'm going to screw down this 1 terabyte Seagate drive, and we're going to give this another upgrade in its storage space. So let's cut this scene and come back. All right, so now we can see the completed upgrade on this Acer laptop before I close it up. Here's our drive mounted in, nice and solid. Our ribbon cable's in. Our new 1 terabyte M.2, so we've got 2 terabytes of storage in here. We can take a look at this memory now also while we have this open. You can see that it's actually using Crucial modules, which is fantastic. That's awesome. Let's see, here's our Wi-Fi. And I'm guessing this is our CPU. It's soldered in there, obviously, of course. So, all right. So let's close this back up, put the screws back on it, and install Windows 10. I'm going to use Windows 10 21H2, which is the latest as of this video. So let me install that, and we'll come back. All right. So I normally don't cover something like this, but I know I'm going to get asked about something like this. So I thought, well, you know what? Let's do it live and figure it all out as we go along, so you know for your own sake. All right, what I have right here is the Windows 10 21H2 thumb drive. I'm going to go ahead and stick that here on the right-hand side with that USB port. On this USB port, I have my KVM hooked up here. Let me switch that over real fast, and we'll hit the power button, see if we got action. Now, what should happen here is, since there's no operating system, we should get a message about having no operating system, or it's going to ask us if we want some type of recovery, or it should boot directly onto that thumb drive, and that looks like that's exactly what it is doing. If it starts doing the Windows logo spinning, then you know that that's what we're doing, is we're booting onto the thumb drive. I haven't had to touch a thing. I haven't had to go into the BIOS or nothing like that. We're just going to give it a minute here and let it think. See what it does. And it's doing nothing. I would think by this time the Windows logo thing would start appearing at the bottom. Ah, there it is. There it is. I was getting a little worried there. Took a little bit. Okay. English and still. Yeah, okay. Install now. Give it a second. Okay, accept the license terms. Custom install. Now, you notice that we have two things listed here. Disk 0, partition 1, hard disk. We know that that's our hard drive right there, our Samsung drive, because it's actually, I had partitioned it earlier, so I know that disk 0 is the drive. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to guess. Let me delete this here. And now you have two drives. Now, it's kind of hard to know, but I got lucky here because I actually formatted the drive before I installed it. I kind of always do that. But that's something you might want to consider doing, is if you're going to put a secondary drive, format it first. That way you don't have any problems with your install. You know what drive it is you're looking for. But anyways, we're using the drive 1 here, unallocated space. And we're going to click next here. And we're going to go ahead and let Windows do its initial setup, and then we're going to, get the same garbage that we got before, and I'm going to skip that because that's boring, but that's basically what we're going to do here, is do our Windows install. Now, what I like to do, I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but as soon as this thing goes to restart, and it goes restart, I'll pull out the USB drive right as it goes into its black state. That way it should boot, theoretically, right into the Windows install. And but anyways, I'm going to cut this scene here. Let's go to the next one after I have Windows installed. All right, I figured I got the timing out right on this one. Here comes the moment of truth coming up here. We're going to see if this is still in S mode or if this goes right to Windows 10 Home, as this is taking care of its initial first startup here. I figured I'd start it right here. It might take a little bit of time. We'll see. But yeah, the install, it seemed to go a lot quicker than the last one. And that's probably because it doesn't have the underlying Acer bullshit that they installed on there, that they wanted you to, accept their terms and this and that and what have you. All right, so let's see where we're at. All right, there's Windows. Let's see. Well, it's looking for display drivers. Click maybe later. Now, I do have it plugged into the network now that I have Windows, installed and the username. We'll go to personalize. That's how we checked it before. And we'll go to themes. We're going to choose the Windows theme. Colors. As you can see, yes, we can indeed choose colors. Oops. There we go. So we know it is activated. Oops. So now what we can do is we can go have a look in the settings here under System and see About. Windows 10 Home in S mode. Yes, it did. It went right to S mode. So the key that is embedded in here is an S mode key. So we'll have to, of course, take care of that. And to do that, you have to sign into a Microsoft account, go to the Play Store, download the app for that gets rid of that, and then you are out of S mode. So that's one thing I don't like about Windows 10 S mode, is that they make you have to go and sign in to the Play Store, or the Microsoft Store to get the app to do that. I think they should allow you to do that without having to sign in. It's just kind of an extra account that you got to keep track of that you're probably never going to use anyways, and a lot of people end up forgetting their passwords, and that's one of the big pain in the asses I get when people bring me stuff with Windows 10 and they initially did the setup at it from something bought at the store, that I ask them, all right, what's your sign-in password? I don't know. And so, yeah. All right, so let me cut this scene. I'm going to get S mode out of here. I'm going to do all the updates and all that shit. And then we'll do a final boot on this, check it out, and look at the specs on it. See you in a minute. Okay, Ava and everybody else, I've got everything installed in here that I want installed. This laptop is finished and ready to ship out. Now we get to see how fast this thing boots, and I'm going to show you some other things about this laptop, Ava, and everybody else that makes this thing pretty damn sweet. So let's start with first the initial boot. Ava, here you go. Let's watch your computer boot. Now you notice this is a lit up keyboard, so your screen letting up there. There's your Acer logo. You can count how many seconds this takes to boot if you want to, but I mean, why bother? This thing is pretty dang quick. All right. So like I said, there's a bunch of stuff in here that I've done with it, Ava and everybody else. So let's go to the next scene and let's talk about what this new computer can do over that old piece of crap that Ava had before. See you in a sec. Okay, so I don't have the audio hooked up right now, but I do have the video, of course, hooked up. We can go ahead and first of all, we'll start off at the task manager and take a look at the stats on the screen here under performance. CPU, we got the Ryzen 3 3200U. Memory, we've got 16 gigs of DDR4 memory. It's actually running at 2400 megahertz speed. All these Ryzen 3s do. Anyways, it's 16 gigs, which is a good deal. Disk 0 is the hard drive. This is the secondary drive, actually. It is a 1 terabyte Toshiba. Yeah, 1 terabyte Toshiba that I tossed in there for. Or maybe it was a Seagate. I don't remember. I think it was Seagate. Anyways, disk 1 is our Team Group M.2 NVMe drive. Also 1 terabyte, so we got 2 terabytes of total storage in here. And then under here, we've got our GPU, which of course is the AMD Radeon Vega 3 graphics. Pretty decent specs. And of course, I showed you the light up keyboard. That works just fine. Now, Ava, welcome to your new life on this computer. This is so much better than what you had before. First of all, we'll start out with Twister OS. I don't need to tell you about Windows 10. You know all about that. Twister or Linux, you probably have fiddled around with it a bit. Twister OS is kind of different from what I did on your laptop the last time. The last time it was a dual boot. This time, since you got a better processor, you got more memory, you got the oomph that you need, we could actually run this at a virtual machine. So we'll go ahead and we'll start this off here, what I want to show you with Twister OS. As you can see, it's loading in a smaller window on the side here while I'm still in Windows 10. I don't need to log out and then reboot the computer to do this, so I can go to Twister OS automatically, which is a lot nicer. And so you could actually go back and forth with your pictures. Like you can create a new document here. We'll create a new text document. We'll call it test. All right. And in this test, we'll just go testing 1, 2, 3. And we'll close that up. We'll save that. And here we have Twister OS, and we can actually go and put, full screen. There it is, like that. Go back to where we were. And we could take our document here, or our picture, or whatever it is, slide it on over here, and there it is on the Linux screen. So now if we go View, Full Screen Mode, there's our document, and we can, of course, open this up here, and it says Testing 1, 2, 3. Pretty cool, huh? That's better, a lot better than having to reboot your computer all the time to switch between operating systems. That's why virtual machines are awesome. Now let's talk about Twister OS a little bit. You can look on YouTube for other videos about Twister. Pretty cool stuff here. We'll start with the themes on Twister. Aiva, Windows 11's coming out, and this laptop is absolutely going to run Windows 11 for you when you want to upgrade that when Microsoft finalizes it. In the meantime, though, if you want to have something that kind of looks like Windows 11, you can actually go into Twister OS here under the theme Twister and choose Windows 11. You got Twister 11 right here. We'll just choose the light one. And you're going to, of course, put your password in. Now, if you remember, Ava, the last time your password was root. Hopefully you changed that, and you're going to change it again. Anyways, root is what we're going to use here for this demonstration. So we're going to type in root, R-O-O-T. Hit enter, and it's going to change the theme, and then we're going to hit enter again, and it's going to log out and give us this login screen. We hit root again to log in, and give it a second. Boom, there we go. Windows 11. Looks like Windows 11 anyways, huh? Pretty neat, huh? Twister OS is pretty. You could do other stuff too. Let's say you wanted to make it look like a Mac. Same thing, root. We'll just do this real quick. Now I want you to notice how quickly I'm doing this too, how fast I'm switching between different themes in Linux here, Twister OS, excuse me. So yeah, there we are with that. We'll show you the last one here. We'll switch it to Twister 95. You can, of course, play around with the rest of these and check these out for yourself. But yeah, this one here looks like, let me boot up there. It looks like Windows 95. Pretty neat, huh? Otherwise, everything else is the same. It's actually a lot easier. Once you know how to run Twister OS and install it, I think you'll really gonna like the interface. I ain't gonna say it's something for noobs to go install. It's kind of hard to install if you're new to Linux, but oops. It is a fun operating system to use here, and this is just the first thing I wanted to show you here, Ava. Let me log into this real quick. So that's finalized, and then we will quit playing with this. We'll go to log out, shut down. Let it shut down. Boom, there you go. All right, now we're back into Windows. So anyways, so that's one thing I wanted to show you, Ava. Like I said, you know all about, Windows, so I don't need to explain it to you. Next thing we're going to look at is, can this thing game? Yeah, it can. First of all, what I got right here is one of those generic Pro controllers that we're going to give Ava. I've got like, 5 or 6 of these damn things sitting down there on the ground, so we'll toss one her way. We'll just go ahead and push the home button there so that it pairs with the Bluetooth here on this laptop, and then we're going to go ahead and start Dolphin up here. Oops, did I click that? Yeah, there we go. And you can see I've got 2 games loaded. First one we're going to show you here is Mario Kart Double Dash. Now you notice I got the FPS showing. If we can reach 60 FPS, we're doing pretty good here. We're going to play with this controller here, I think. Now you're not going to be able to hear the volume because I don't have the volume set. I suppose I could have set that by taking it off from HDMI. But anyways, let's get this round going here. So as you can see, I'm playing, of course, Mario Kart Double Dash on this thing. Pretty cool, huh? All right, so we'll exit out of that, hit escape. Let me do something here real quick. We'll go to the laptop here. We're going to switch this audio to the speakers. And then we're going to go with Mario Kart, and we can watch the FPS on this too. Hopefully you can hear this. Might be able to hear it. So you could see I'm just flying through this menu right here. If you've ever, played with the emulators on a laptop before, or even on the one that you have now, you'd know that it ain't gonna run it. But it's a little jittery right at the start here. The Wii games are a little bit harder to emulate, but some of these will run really smooth with a couple frame drops. But for the most part, there's a lot of Wii games you could run on this too. I'm just showing you right here by doing, what is this, Mario Kart Wii? And if you're watching the FPS, you can see kind of some of the real world stuff we're getting here. Now there shouldn't be any issues with frame drop here from any hardware on the screen, except for the frame counter up in the corner, because I'm actually outputting this to my HDMI out capture card. So what you're seeing here is what it should be. Here we are. We're sitting at about 60. Which is right where we want to be, actually. So as you can see, this game runs really, really well on here. I just kind of suck at playing it. Maybe I'm not too bad. I don't really play these games that much. This is probably like the first time I've played this thing in probably like half a year. But I can play it enough to show you a little sampler here that it does indeed, play well on this computer. Let's go ahead and stop this before I embarrass myself. So yeah, emulators, no problem. MAME, no problem. I mean, you want a bunch of games, we can load a bunch on there for you. Speaking of loading things up, let's take a look at the storage here. First of all, we'll go to the C drive here, see what we have left. We have about 50 gigs total of space that I've used up, with 900 gigs free on that one. And on the secondary drive, we've got 931 gigabytes free. So we got tons of space on this Aiva. That is so sweet. I think you're really, really going to be impressed with this computer. I mean, I haven't really tapped on a lot of the things that are going to be so much better for you on this compared to your old laptop that you bought from Walmart. But I think you're really, really going to enjoy this. I hope everyone else enjoyed this, and I don't know. It was content. I wouldn't really call it too much of an upgrade tutorial. I'm just babbling on most of the time. But that was the upgrade on this. What the hell is this? An Acer Aspire 5. Anyways, link to it on Newegg will be down in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will talk to you guys all again later. Bye.